humid day today. We're in, we're in Derbyshire. Again. And we are at, as if you didn't know already, another Starfish Decoy site, which has got a fascinating history about it. You wouldn't realise it where we are, because frankly we are what Starfish Decoy sites were pertaining to in the middle of nowhere, but its role and its purpose was actually for a quite important area. We won't say any more than that, but we'll tell you about it on the other side.
Let's go.
Come on. Well, welcome back everybody. What an incredible decoy site. Now, it's seen better days, and we'll talk about that in a minute. In fact, we'll show you. There's a beautiful robin that is currently befriending us at the moment, which is beautiful, because we are in the middle of like this incredible wildlife and landscape, which is wonderful. I keep being distracted by this beautiful robin. It is so friendly. So if you hear a chirping in the background, it's because it's beautiful robin. Anyway, let's talk about this incredible decoy site. So, we are in Eckington, which is in East Derbyshire, or North East Derbyshire, and it was basically built as part of the C series of civil decoys for Sheffield to deflect enemy bombing from the London, Midland and Scottish railways. The site was referenced as being used between 1942 and 1943. And it's incredible, really. I mean, the other thing that we need to note is really its use. So its use really was to have a series of simulated lighting, because it's a QL site. So it's simulated lighting to simulate factories and marshalling yards. It's just remarkable, really. It's the first Starfish sites for Sheffield were commissioned in November 1940. Following on from this, the first civil decoys were placed in by January 1941, with the remainder finished by August. It says all urban layout decoys for Sheffield were decommissioned by August to September 1944. So, really interesting. I suppose the next thing we should do really fundamentally now is actually take you in properly. Welcome back everybody. So we're now going in. If you see in the channel, we have done a lot of Starfish Decoy sites, a lot. And to be honest with you, it's always difficult on my channel to figure out how much detail we want to put into these. But as was spoken about before, they served an unseen, unheard of purpose during World War II, you could argue. And well, what a purpose they served. If we walked in, I'm just going to reverse back for a second. It's subdivided into 2 rooms. You've got your command post room there on your left, and then you've got your engine room here. And as we walk in, you can see, the first thing you see, and this is quite common for Starfish Decoy sites, again, apologies if you've seen a lot on my channel, but for all the new people, these would be generator plimps. And the idea with these was to provide basically anything electrical. And we know that, for example, in Starfish Decoy sites, one of the most important things, probably one of the most important things in Starfish Decoy site, you could argue, was the telephone. And that would have been called in to say that there was a Nazi Germany raid on any site specific around to an area of a Starfish Decoy site. We're not talking about this one specifically. Obviously, in this case, it would have been for defence of the railway network. And the idea was that they were really posted out to be in the middle of nowhere, because the idea was that they're meant to be used as a decoy, so that if it was effective, then the Germans would have bombed this site using, like I said before, a series of lights to replicate what the yard would have looked like, etc., etc. And they would have been like, oh, actually, this is clearly the place we need to be bombing. And so they would have targeted this, and it's in the middle of nowhere. And so anyway, the way that would have normally been done was obviously multiple different ways. Series of pre-ignited baskets that would normally be situated outside there. They're all different variations of Starfish Decoy sites. And again, I hate to repeat myself, but if you've seen the channel, we've done lots of different types. This is obviously a QL type, and it's a civil. So it's meant to be protecting civil sites. Rule of thumb normally is any piping, not all the case, but again for people who, if you've not been experienced, rule of thumb is normally anything on the bottom is normally electrical or fuel based. Normally a top would normally be vents, etc., etc. It does vary. Beautiful bit of interesting graffiti there as well. Wonderful. If I just walk back. There is a clear indication of smell that has been used for herbal purposes. Very strong smell. In fact, I'm actually getting quite high just being here. But yeah, so these are the generators. Very, very noisy in here it would have been. And you can imagine. Then as you walk through to the opposite side, this is your command bunker. And what you can see that's left, quite small, there's a classic vent at the back there. If you can see the shine of light. Finger of doom somewhere in a minute. You can see it just about there. There you go. Finger of doom. Little vent. And then more importantly, just in case you did get hit, for whatever reason, this was your escape hatch or your escape out. And so they would have climbed out of this, and that would have been as basic as that. Tables, chairs in here. Not these. And like I said, a phone really would be the main form of communication that would have been called through and told that Germans are on their way. We reported that there might be a bombing raid happening. Let the fires go, simulate the decoy, simulate the mime or the mimic. And hopefully, as the Germans are flying by, they would have been fooled. And like I said, got these two beautiful generator plimps here still. And like I said, that's pretty much it. Now, if we come out of here, what's nice, and they all do vary in different condition. You've got a wonderful little blast wall here, which is wonderfully become featured as a bat. But if Sophie's wonderfully there, hello Sophie. It's a wonderful rectangular standard design. We've seen a lot of these on the channel, like I said. So we know that probably to replicate the yard, we would assume that there is a field over there behind us. And the reason why it couldn't have been here is because this is all boggy ground on the side of a hill. Unless, yeah, next to a river. So I'm guessing that it couldn't have been that side because we're literally on a slope. It's actually, I don't think I've seen a, saying that, I'm not sure I've ever been to Starfish Decoy Site on the side of a slope. But it's the first time, I think. And like I said, so there would have been pipes and lots of different techniques they would have used, series of lights, etc., etc. Like I said, just to replicate, to hopefully fool the Germans. Sophie, thoughts and feelings, if you please.
So it's just interesting where it is.
Yeah, it's interesting where it is.
In fact, also, at the moment, it's in the middle of the woods.
Lovely.
Next to a stream.
Yeah.
So, well, they really did put them anywhere.
You've got to imagine that where we are, we're in the height of, we're in an area of prime industry. Mm-hmm. And even though this was used to potentially protect the railway yards, the main railway companies.
Oh, it was multi-purpose.
Yeah, multi-purpose. You've got to understand that we're in a prime area that Germany would have been targeting the Midlands, upper North Derbyshire. Yeah. It's just, you're in that area. So to see these decoy sites, yeah, although argumentative as to how effective they necessarily were, and we've, as we've already said, one of the most effective ones we have covered in the past, which was in Portsmouth. Again, check the playlist for decoy sites, and we talk about that in extensive detail. They still served a purpose. And I've said this before, especially on civil sites, the people who were working at the yards, etc., etc., they would have been grateful that at least there was something happening here to protect them in whatever way, whether it worked or not. You know, that's the most important thing. Yeah. It's not the best condition, though. No. And like I did say, it smells a bit funky in there. Yeah. But we're in the heart of nature, and it's bizarre. It's a really bizarre one for me. But yeah, there you go. I think we've pretty much summed it up. Like I said, I apologise for a lot of you because we have covered a lot of these. But just check them out. I think most importantly, and have you fill your boots with all the amazing Starfish Decoy sites we've done in multiple variations, and the beautiful nature that surrounded us. My God,
The robin's back up
we
there.
have been so spoilt today. Oh, the robin is literally coming down. Anyway, being distracted by nature, but that's beautiful, isn't it? Like I said, blast wall behind us. Rectangular design, isn't it? Really rectangular.
Yeah.
Escape hatch over there, and then obviously you've got your pipes and everything else that would have been on that other side. So we know that the generator building is here, so therefore any piping which would have been used for like petroleum, oil, etc., etc., on this side, that's what they would have used to. There would have been like a trough, and that would have helped fuel the generators, and then you'd got these pre-wicker basket types of things. It's all different because some of them even used lights. It's quite interesting if you read into it, because not all of them are straightforward necessarily. It was just to do the best job of decoying as possible, and if it worked just for one raid alone, then you know it's effective, isn't it? Well, look, in immortal words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with us. There's Sophie in the background, bless her. Hello. Take care, everybody. Much love to all of you out there. Feel free to spread the word of the channel. Sorry for the brief. Well, I don't know if it's short. It's all right, isn't it? It's all right. We covered it. Take care. All the photos that were provided by with Sophie. Thank you so much, Sophie. Take care, and we'll of course see you very soon. Because history matters. Bye. Kapow.